This oil company was close to bankruptcy in 2020. Later, it skyrocketed more than 700% in just 2 years. So today I'm running 5 scenarios to test how much higher could Oxy price go in the future. We'll start with a simple $1 increase hypothesis and continue all the way to $200 per share scenario. So can Oxy go up $1? Of course, $1 increase is just a matter of time. And if we calculate, there is actually 35% chance that Oxy price will go up $1 already 1 week from now, just by market playing its usual games. It's a really insignificant increase, but now we know how easy it is, so let's go to the next level where things get much more interesting. So second level of increase is the dividend growth, and it's almost certain that Oxy will raise its dividend to match the industry standard, which is around 4%. The only question is when. This is very likely to happen, especially as Oxy returns most of its debts. Right now the dividend is under 2%, so it would have to literally double, and that kind of movement would grab serious attention from investors and mutual funds. And based on past reactions to dividend increase in Oxy, I estimate that hitting 4% could actually push Occidental Petroleum price $50 to $60 range. But this is not the end, and let's go towards some really big numbers in the next scenario. What can further increase Occidental Petroleum price? And that's excellent market conditions. Oil companies' revenues are heavily tied to oil prices, and those prices aren't set by the companies themselves. They fluctuate based on global supply and really geopolitics, which are influenced by basically one OPEC meeting a year. Well, back in March 2022, when oil surged past $100 per barrel, Occidental Petroleum margins increased and stock jumped 35–50% in that range. And if we see that kind of oil price surge again, Occidental Petroleum could easily trade in $70 to $90 range. Now, this scenario is less certain than the dividend case, but it could actually offer great opportunity to exit with solid returns. Okay, so we covered 3 scenarios so far, but let's try to go a little bit out of the box to see how can Occidental Petroleum price grow even more. So let's go to the case 4, where we have excellent market conditions, we have industry benchmark dividend, but what if we want to grow even more? What has to happen? And in my book, a lot of big enterprises have a lot of room for improvement in operational efficiency. That's adopting automation and digital transformation in order to minimize costs while maximizing production and sales. It could involve acquiring startups or building in-house competence that would work towards company achieving KPIs like faster drilling cycles, bigger average deal size, or higher capital efficiency, and really focus on automating these non-core areas of the business. In really optimistic estimation, we could guess that $1 billion is the full potential efficiency gain. With excellent market conditions, that would mean around $9 in free cash flow per share, which would actually push then the price to $110, $130 per share. And then, this is a hypothetical scenario with a lot of assumptions, but this is what would push the Occidental Petroleum price much higher. So now let's go to really the last and the craziest, full of assumptions scenario 5, where we're actually creating new revenue streams for Occidental Petroleum and reinventing a little bit the business model. So you know how Occidental Petroleum is aiming to be CO2 neutral by 2050, and it's a really nice aim, but it's not really competitive advantage for the business. To take it to become a competitive advantage, Oxy has to scale the competence into some sort of package solution that they can actually also sell to other companies. And why I'm talking about this is because Occidental Petroleum invested around $2 to $3 billion in CO2 capture and storage, technology, research, development, and so on. And we know that many companies designate similar budgets to improve their CO2 footprint. And adding CO2 management to product portfolio, Occidental Petroleum could really open new big revenue streams. Most importantly, investors could start seeing Occidental Petroleum as a technology company, and then the evaluation would be completely different as well. So if we assume that Occidental Petroleum is successful in this area, it could potentially generate around $10 billion a year of additional revenue, which would then increase stock price to over $200 per share or more. But obviously this scenario is least likely to happen, and this whole exercise was just to see how much higher can Occidental Petroleum price go and what needs to happen for the price to grow. So I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. But what do you think is going to happen? Any other scenarios that I missed? Drop it in the comments below and make sure to subscribe, and see you next time.